What does note-taking mean to you? And that's an interesting question. We all have our own journey, and you're watching this video because at some point you've decided that you want to get better at your note-taking, and you may have followed some path. You may have discovered the Zettelkasten note-taking method, and you want to continue your research. But I think it's quite important to take a step back and start asking that question: why do I take notes? What's the purpose? What's the benefit? What's that intrinsic motivation to do it? And I feel like in some way we feel this pressure that note-taking is really important and that you'll be an awesome human being if you're a note-taker and you've got a second brain and you've got everything right in your life. And I kind of feel like that's probably a pressure too much. You want to connect with something that really is joyful to your heart. So the note-taking should be something that is part of you because it's just you. Now, I appreciate that some of you may be going through your studies at the moment and you're looking at ways to improve your note-taking. And the life lesson here is that learning is not something you just do in an educational setting. You do it for the entire of your life, and not everybody does it. Those that do generally can find ways for a more fulfilling and enriched life. That's my view on it. My goal here on this channel is to pay it forward and give this gift to you, to have the tools to use for your note-taking and be empowered to learn new things and to give you the gift of curiosity, where you suddenly start seeing the world with excitement and wonder rather than preconceived ideas and disappointment. Like, that for me is quite a deep-rooted feeling in terms of why I love note-taking and my knowledge journey and all of that. And my story goes back to discovering audiobooks, where at the time in my life, I didn't think much of the softer skills content or even like the spiritual content and all of that. It just didn't really be something that I felt was me. Like, obviously I had some personality traits from my upbringing where that wasn't fundamental to who I was. And it was a self-discovery going through this where, I picked up these audiobooks, and I started more with the business type of non-fiction books, not really into fiction purely because I'm just selfish with my time. It's not that I don't value them and think they're wonderful. It's just I've got so much I want to learn. My curiosity is too much on wanting to consume more, right? So here I am listening to these non-fiction books, and over time I discovered that my mindset started shifting. And if you end up with that feeling that audiobooks are second rate to reading and note-taking, whether that's true or not, I have discovered that audiobooks have a very fundamental role in being able to reprogram your understanding of the world, reprogram your defaults, reprogram your mindset for the one that you want. And I experienced this. I started listening to more and more books. I would do it during my commutes. And I noticed that my ability to articulate, my ability to make decisions was getting better. My ability to handle difficult situations, confusing situations, social situations was getting better. Why? Because I had been exposed to a lot of content that started breaking this down into a core understanding that through simply repetition of listening to audiobooks started to reprogram my defaults and started to allow me to connect these ideas together in a way that was really tangible. I noticed I was becoming a happier person. Now, I can't attribute that entirely to the books. It could just be, as I get older, this is a natural transition as you get older. But I certainly feel like the books had a major contribution. So with this, I realized that I wanted to capture more of that, and that's how I, tried creating YouTube content a number of years ago, trying to research it, but my memory's just never good, being able to remember the facts or the detail. And, the authors, they tell these amazing stories and you want to regale these stories, but you can't do it because you don't know the details. It's like telling a joke that you remember the punchline, but you don't remember the lead up to it. And you get really excited, you want to tell the joke, and you realize, and you just want to say the punchline, and you can't do it. So, and it's really frustrating. Some people have that talent, and when you listen to these authors or you read these books and you realize these people have this talent, and I want to be like them because they get to share what they love, and I'm here loving what I know, but I want to share it. I want to give it back. I want to pay it forward to the version of me who's watching this video now, but 5 years younger than me, and I want to help them along their way to really change the trajectory of their understanding and their enjoyment of life for the better. A gift back to humanity in that sense. So I got really frustrated with that, and I even stopped creating content on YouTube because I knew I needed to figure out how to capture my notes, capture my thinking. And that's when I discovered through the Ali Abdaal YouTube channel this concept of the second brain and the work of Tiago Forte. And I don't quite remember exactly how I discovered the Zettelkasten and specifically, but however I did, I ended up reading How to Take Smart Notes by Sonke Arons, and I didn't quite get it. About halfway through the book, it clicked, and I realized, oh, now I get it. Now I get it. You're breaking down into atomic ideas, connecting it. It becomes your thinking, like the whole thing slotted into place like a jigsaw puzzle. And that's why I want to create the content on YouTube to help shine the light on that jigsaw puzzle. In my head now, I have this mental picture of what it is, and I'm trying different techniques to try and teach that. And I appreciate not everyone's going to get it at the same time. And and even if some people do get it, it may not be the right thing for them and all of that. But here we are now with a note-taking system that allows me to take what I'm learning and organize it in a way that sort of aligns more with how my brain works. I hate categorizing things, and I love the fluidity of ideas and thinking, and just removing all the friction and just getting to that kind of stream of consciousness of what you're thinking about. So with that in mind, and the note-taking, what's the other component of why I feel it's important? And it's the curiosity. It's getting intrinsic value on discovering something, on evaluating your ideas on it, on writing about it. And if I look at who I was in school, I hated English. I hated writing. I wanted to be a computer programmer, all of those things. And here I am now as an adult where I revel in the fact that there's this whole subject of writing and communicating and teaching that I get to enjoy and discover and learn and create content. I wanted to be a filmmaker at some point, and YouTube allows me to combine that together. And so wonderful when you have a purpose to bring it all together. And I think what's really important with your note-taking is you understand what your purpose is. You want to know why you're doing it, and you're doing it for you. And I think some people may feel like that they want to create notes because they want to become a better organized person, and they may want to use it in their work and all of that. Maybe they've got a goal, I want to be a better writer and all of that. And all these are very valid reasons for being a better note taker, but there has to be something underlying. What is it you're taking notes about, and why you want to perfect the system of which you use to create those notes? And I think that bit, if you tap into that, that's where the magic really happens, where you start seeing the world as a fountain of excitement and knowledge, and you want to basically pull on the threads that get you excited and have a system that allows you to keep that momentum going. And there's an aspect for me which is, that's all very well and good. I love talking about this thing, and I love teaching it back, and I love inspiring others. In the several times that I've been in a position to mentor or coach other people, now I'm not a mentor or coach, but I've been in a position where I've been able to give advice. I love hearing someone else or seeing someone else suddenly see the dots connected and the excitement builds, and they realize that actually what was something that they thought was impossible is now very real and very possible. They just now need to follow the steps to achieve it. And yes, it may be difficult, and yes, it may be hard, but those steps are learnable and therefore they're teachable and all of that. And for me, being able to help that is it's such an intrinsic motivation. So yeah, I just wanted to create this video to give a bit of thinking for you around your note-taking and your knowledge journey and your lifelong learning. Try and connect with the joy of it in a way, because yes, you can write. Yes, you can teach. Yes, you can organize. Yes, you can do all that. But it's that thing that makes your heart skip a beat because you get really excited about what it is. For me, it's a range of topics. Some are around understanding kind of human psychology. Some of it is around health. Some of it is around mindset, and some of it is around business. Like, these are all kind of these are all different things that sometimes I'm really into one, sometimes into the other. And I love the idea of being able to explore each one when the excitement's really high, capture those notes so that they're there now, to keep with me for the rest of my life, essentially. And so this is a long and rambly video about kind of really just my thoughts, stream of consciousness about note-taking and knowledge and why I like teaching. And hopefully it's given you some thoughts as to just remembering that it should be fun, shouldn't be a chore, that it should be really, really enjoyable. So if you like this video, do give it a thumbs up and do consider subscribing. It's not my typical kind of video. I like to be a bit more hands-on with the techniques, but sometimes it's nice to just step back and connect with what it is we enjoy about what we do. Thank you.